Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to OpenText World 2021, and thank you for joining this live talk brought to you by Alitek Solutions. The topic for today's presentation is balancing innovation and compliance in life sciences. I'm joined today by Natalie Cole, an industry expert with over 20 years experience driving EIM projects in the life sciences sector. Natalie has been kind enough to join us today to share her insights into this fascinating topic. So we thank you, Natalie. Please note that this will be a short presentation. In the interest of time, we ask that you hold your questions until the end. So without further ado, let's get started with a quick round of introductions. My name is Patrick Sterner. I'm a principal with Alitek Solutions. Alitek is an OpenText partner and leading solution integrator. I personally bring over 18 years of delivery experience working with customers in the pharmaceutical, oil and gas, and utility sectors. My passion is helping clients identify, implement, and support solutions that improve business processes through better management of information. And Natalie, could you briefly introduce yourself and describe your background as well?
Sure. Thank you, Patrick. My name is Natalie. I have been part of the life sciences pharmaceutical industry since 1999, played various roles, and I'm excited to be a part of this session today.
Great. Thank you, Natalie. We appreciate you joining us. So for those on the call who are less familiar with OpenText offerings in the life sciences space, let's provide a quick overview of the value that enterprise information can bring to the field. Here you see a high-level view of the areas where enterprise information management can provide benefits. So in a word, EIM helps life sciences organizations bring safe, high-quality drugs and medical devices to market faster and at a lower cost by seamlessly sharing content and information throughout the drug lifecycle. It unifies processes that extend across domains, internal divisions, external partners. By seamlessly linking and sharing documents, it helps to speed study startups, manage regulatory submissions, and govern quality and manufacturing processes with purpose-built solutions that leverage industry guidance and best practices. So, for example, when it comes to production and manufacturing, OpenText solutions provide comprehensive, predefined document taxonomies, life cycles, and workflows, which are tailored specifically for pharmaceutical and medical device products. Right? These solutions are built specifically to reduce time to market and ensure adherence to industry standards. The same can be said for quality and validation processes, where EIM solutions help ensure compliance with current GMP standards through industry-specific data models, audit trails, reporting, and e-signature support. Moving beyond production and operations to areas like clinical trials, EIM can help to effectively plan, collect, and maintain essential clinical trial documentation. We're all familiar with the challenges and risks of managing clinical data. eTMF solutions help organizations control and synchronize study artifacts and track the progress of collecting clinical trial documentation. They reduce the complexity and risk for sponsors and CROs while ensuring fast, secure access to documentation during and after trials. And finally, with R&D and regulatory submissions, EIM solutions not only accelerate the submission process with built-in compliance and global control of content, they also simplify the search and retrieval of archive submissions and their associated correspondence. Right? In each case, EIM helps companies better understand and manage their information and use it to deliver products to market faster and at lower cost than their competitors. So with that background, let's talk with Natalie, who has some firsthand experience with these solutions. First question,
Hello.
Natalie. Given your broad experience, can you tell us a little bit about how EIM has changed the way life sciences organizations do business?
Sure. So when I started my career in life sciences in 1999, I think the biggest change from me back then to now was having to pull records, documents, being in quality management at the time, walk into the GMP library, right? gathering the policies and procedures that were needed, checking them out, bringing them back to my desk. I think with the way that technology has changed is we're at a global environment, right? So with Documentum being a cloud-based system, we can get things done globally in a much quicker way to be compliant.
So what I'm hearing is that the life sciences business today moves faster than it did 20 years ago, correct?
That is correct. Signature processes obtained instead of hard copy snail mail, right? Sending it out. You can actually log into the system and sign your electronic signature there. So much quicker now, yes.
So, and also probably, I think the industry as a whole is more competitive. Timelines are shorter. The scope of processes is more diverse and more global. Like, for example, let's see, something that you said kind of stuck. You talked about needing to go down to the library and pull out standard operating procedures and R&D data. Today, that might be something that needs to be shared globally across a global organization. Would that have been possible in the same way 20 years ago?
Absolutely not, right? So with the cloud-based system,
Mm-hmm.
it really gets everyone together, and signatures can be obtained, and documents can be reviewed much quicker, as well as just kind of everything being in one central area, right, electronically. And that's one thing wonderful about Documentum, all areas of the company get good results from it.
Great response. So drilling down on that first question a little bit more, can you speak to some specific areas of the business where you've seen the most impact?
Yeah, so basically, for me specifically, in the roles that I played, quality management, program management, test lead, I would say in the operations, computer system validation and verification activities, right? Getting policies all in one place from an operation standpoint. However, it affects all areas of the company, finance, for instance, getting your statement of works signed off and approved in one central area. Governance from an HR perspective. All areas of the company for record keeping. It's great.
That actually reminds me, we all know that COVID has presented some unique challenges to the life sciences industry. Over the summer, I remember reading an article about a pharmaceutical company that was asked by the FDA to destroy 60 million samples of their COVID vaccine due to possible contamination. And I'm not sure of all the details, but I think that the issue there had something to do with the manufacturing process. Without knowing the specific details, is this type of incident something that EIM technology could help to prevent?
Sure. By first off, getting a quality management system in place. That means creating processes and procedures that create governance control, right, on those type of activities, getting the manufacturing processes in place. And that's really great about Documentum, right? When you set up Documentum, like I said, globally, right, from that perspective, it affects all areas, in the business.
Great. Thank you for that. And so kind of moving on here, actually, so it's clear from what you've described that EIM technology has led to positive change in the industry. With change, there is always challenge. Can you share some of the challenges that you've seen with the adoption of these technologies and how they've been overcome?
Yeah, just really getting everyone on the same page, putting a plan in place, right? Documenting what you're going to do and getting executive buy-in from upper management. Create a plan. Yeah, and take that to the next level and look at it from a risk-based approach, right? And start there. I would definitely recommend putting a plan together based on a risk-based approach and getting executive buy-in, get them to sign off on the plan and confirm that's what they want to use. Most definitely. Thank you for asking that, actually.
Oh, that's a great point. We see the same thing with many EIM solutions. One of the goals of EIM is to bring information closer to the line of business. So it puts information in the context to enable workers to do their jobs more efficiently. We see this with other extended ECM solutions that OpenText offers that bring content and information management to solutions like Salesforce, SuccessFactors, SAP, Microsoft. It literally changes how people do their jobs. So I love your answer. Would you say that training and change management are kind of a key aspect of fostering user adoption?
That is correct. Setting up administrators that are going to be the ones that set up the system, right? Getting those administrators trained and rolling that out to the company. That's a big one. I'm glad you brought that up. I should have mentioned that earlier. Training, key number one. Training your administrators, getting the policies in place around that, right? To get everyone, everything in place and to get trained on that. Thanks.
Absolutely, a critical point. So kind of following on from that a little bit, like anything else, some organizations are further along in their digital transformation than others. We know that some companies continue to use paper-based processes. For these late adopters, where would you say is the best place to start?
Doing an analysis of everything you've got, right? And I'm kind of go back to the previous question, the whole risk-based approach. What do you have to get into Documentum, right? And looking at it, getting a plan in place, possibly potentially getting a project charter, right? And having executive leadership sign off on that, and really knowing what you want to migrate and what is absolutely needed, looking at your record retention schedules as well, right? Some things need to be in place for many, many years. Documentum offers that archival solution as well. So.
Oh, I completely agree. We often advise our customers to focus initially on a specific business problem with a clear value and ROI. And that's usually key to getting executive buy-in that you described kind of early in the process and establishing your project champions, right? Also, early wins really help enable you to take those solutions to the next level from a place of success. Starting from a place of success gets people excited about the solution. They see the value that it can provide, and you have other managers looking to extend that value to other areas of the business.
Absolutely.
Great answers. Thank you. So kind of jumping in here, actually. So as we near the end of our time, could you look to the horizon a little bit and speak to the innovations that you see or hope to see in the next 5 to 10 years?
Sure. Workflows, the review and approval process within Documentum, right? Getting the glitches out of that. Sometimes there are little glitches. Getting more control around that would be a suggestion, most definitely.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you. I agree completely. Traditional workflows definitely have some room to improve. A workflow can really help improve a process and streamline it, but the workflows that we have in place today still leave a little bit to be desired. In fact, I would say that process automation, AI, machine learning are huge growth areas for EIM in the next 10 years. For many companies, at least in our experience, at Alitek, working with companies over the last 2 years, COVID provided a real life stress test for some of their processes. And so we found that many companies that thought they had durable processes realized just how much they were leaning on their workers to keep even simple tasks moving. Right. So I think just kind of segueing off what you said and expanding it out a little bit, I think the goal in the future will be to automate these kind of more repetitive tasks and let people focus on parts of the process where they provide the most value, right? So where they're bringing that industry expertise, not just shuffling papers.
And you said it totally right. Yes. 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 I totally agree.
That's great.
You know,
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, following on from that a little bit, I think, the key insight there, one that's clear from our discussion, whether in life challenges themselves, as well as the information needed to solve them. Right. So I give this example, and I talk about this with other customers. If you look at companies like Google or Amazon or Facebook, now Meta,
yeah.
now called Meta, these companies, these companies have become the most successful companies in the world by collecting and manipulating data. Right, so they understand the value of the data that they possess, and they've made a lot of money using that data to their advantage, sometimes to the detriment of other consumers. I think going forward, successful companies have to be prepared to do the same thing by managing and understanding their own data. Right. And
Yeah.
I think a platform like Documentum for Life Sciences, really kind of moves the ball forward with that objective.
I totally agree. You know, with using the system since 1999, being an administrator of the system, checking documents in and out, sending documents for review and approval, I love the system. To me, there's not a whole lot of improvement that needs to be in the review and approval workflows, right? But getting that more automated. Yes, that was the key technical term to use, Thank you for that.
Mm-hmm. Sure. We're near the end of the time. As we prepare to wrap up, I'd like to thank everyone who participated in today's presentation. Thank you, Natalie, for offering your time and sharing your insights. I feel like I've learned a lot in the process. It's clear that EIM technology has much to offer the life sciences space. And I'm sorry that our time is so short. So for anyone who would like to learn more, please don't hesitate to reach out to me, Patrick Sterner at Alitek Solutions. My contact info and email address are available with the meeting materials. Thanks, everybody, and have a great day. And thank you, Natalie.
Thank you.